Welcome back to the shop. Here for another episode of Today's Craftsman in the Green Street Joinery Shop. We're all reminiscing. We were just at Maker Camp last week. That's a week ago already. Can't believe it.
Wow.
If you haven't watched it yet, we have a video on that, so go check it out, what we were doing in the woodworking tent. But you could see behind us, we're putting up some ductwork, and this machine will be, well, we haven't sold it yet. It's for sale, so if you're interested, it may still be available when you watch this. We're selling this sliding table saw. We have a 5x10 Streebig Compact coming, courtesy of Colonial Saw. We actually won that in their Win a Streebig giveaway, so we were the lucky winners. You know, we'll be partnering with them to create some videos and stuff showing the advantages of a Streebig, and Streebig is really like the top of the line vertical panel saw. So it's a 5x10, you know, so it'll take up this swath of wall right here. It'll only come off the wall, I think, you know, let's say 6 feet will be sort of, you know, the total depth once it's installed. So we're gonna be gaining a lot of space. You know, right now we're probably, I don't know, 14 feet off the wall. Pretty good, 13 feet. So we're with a sliding table saw, you need all of this wing here. This is a 10-foot saw, so we need 10 feet this way, and we need 10 feet this way. So this is a 13 by 20 machine. So we're going from 13 by 20 to a much smaller footprint. We'll probably be, we'll call it like 12 by 6. So we're gonna be picking up a lot of floor space, and we're not gonna be lifting sheets up onto this thing. But we wanted to go into the saw today and sort of tell you our experience in buying from an auction. So we bought this from a woodworking auction, sight unseen, and had it brought out to us from Pennsylvania. And it didn't work out as well as we thought. So we're gonna go through and tell you, you know, sort of what to look for and how to navigate these auctions. We bought this probably just about a year ago, maybe slightly less, right before we moved into the shop. We paid, I want to say $3,900 for it, and we had to pay to get it out here. We bought this and the original Edge Bander. I think we may have talked about that in the past. And it cost about $800 to get both of them here. So we could say that we're in on this about, what would that be, $4,300. So this was on a website called IRS Auctions. It's Industrial Recovery Services. They're pretty big woodworking machinery auction site. There's a couple of them out there. And this was actually being sold. So like, let's say we went bankrupt and we had to liquidate everything that's in the building. We could hire, and as you could also just sell the business. Let's say we're selling the business. We could hire IRS Auctions to come in and auction off all of the machinery, all down to the clamps, extension cords, everything. So this was actually at IRS Auctions warehouse. So they come into possession of these machines somehow, and they have sales at their warehouse as well. So that's out in York, Pennsylvania. So we were in the market for a bander and a slider. So this auction comes up, it's in York. You know, we know that it's close enough where we can get the machines here for a reasonable price. Too far to go out and look at the machines, and that's sort of the first issue. So if you're gonna go onto one of these auction sites, make sure that you can go actually see these machines, because, you know, come to find out, this isn't the machine that we were hoping it would be. It's definitely, it's in a little bit of rough shape. So this, when we got the machine, you know, we take a look at the blade, and this isn't the blade, but if you have your blade sharpened, you know that they'll engrave your company name into the blade. So we raise up the blade, it says Connecticut Solid Surface. Solid Surface is, you know, also known as Corian is a name brand of Solid Surface, but it's a hard countertop material. So this saw was being run by a countertop fabrication shop. Not the easiest thing on a table saw. You know, a sheet of Corian is, what are they, 30 by 144. They're heavy. It's a very hard material. So, you know, that was like the first thing. You know, this is being run by a shop who's running the saw hard. You know, we found out that this table doesn't lock back. So we need to wrestle a board up onto here. When you pull the sheet, it's going to push the table. So the workaround I found is I'll pull the forklift over. I'll put my stack of material here. I'll pick it up, and then I can pull it out so that it doesn't land on the table until it's all the way over. Nicer saws have a lock here, so you can pull this table back, lock it, and it won't move. Then when you're ready to cut, you unlock it. We have a piece of white oak here. This is to replace some missing part that didn't come with the saw. So there was no way to adjust the angle of this fence. And over here, I had to make the lock and adjustment. So this is like a micro adjust here. So you can turn this little bolt to push this fence or pull the fence like this to get it square to the blade, and then lock it down with this lock nut, and this knob. So it was missing parts. It has holes drilled in it all over the place. We're not sure what they were using those for, if they had some kind of, work holding or something there. The hardware is missing and replaced with just random screws out of a coffee can. You can see here our handle to lock the stops is a pair of vice grips. So we made the machine work, for the last 10 months, and it cuts. I got it cutting, really square. So it cuts nice and square. Moral of the story here is if you're planning on buying a big piece of machinery or even a small piece, make sure that you can go and actually see it, try it out, see how it was run, if it's in good condition. We did, take a little bit of a hit on this saw. I mean, we made plenty of money using it. It is for sale if you're interested. Like we said, $27.50. Maybe we'll give you a deal. But this is the last week that it'll be here. Next week we have the Streebig coming in, so you'll have to keep an eye out. We'll have some videos coming out about that. And yeah, keep your eye out in the auctions, but be careful. That's what I would say.
See you next time.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff.
We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to leave a comment if there's anything that you want us to cover. We'll be getting into more projects very soon. We have a little shopkeeping or housekeeping going on in the shop with the new saw and everything. So we'll be back to more project videos very soon.